is Kirk, the calculator, Bevins.
Well, welcome to Leverkusen in the Ostermann Arena for day 2 of the European Darts Open, the first Euro Tour event of the year. We've kicked things off with Bongo Cam and a 47-year-old man from Stoke doing the dab on stage. Of course it's the Euro Tour, what else could it be? I'm Dan Dawson, Rob Malarkey alongside me for the second round today. 8 games this afternoon, 8 games this evening. This afternoon sees 5 former Euro Tour winners in action, 7 former Euro Tour champions on the way in the evening session. Perhaps a standout game will be on the way later when Adrian Lewis, the 2-time world champion, takes on the current world champion Rob Cross. But it's not a bad one to start the day. Justin Pipe, the winner of the very first European Tour, the Austrian Darts Open 6 years ago, takes on Ian White, the most recent winner on the Pro Tour, having claimed a Players' Championship event just last weekend. And that will set up the first person through to the last 16. Rob Malarkey alongside me for the opening game of the day.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Dan. Good afternoon, everybody. A couple of European Tour stalwarts on stage here. Ian White's going along very nicely. The number 12 seed for this tournament. Justin Piper, former champion, as you say, on the Euro Tour. You feel Justin Piper will have to improve his finishing. It was pretty erratic yesterday in his opening round.
First leg is Justin to throw first. Game on.
I hopped into the lift in the hotel yesterday. Pipe and Henderson were in there. Bit of a squeeze, but Justin Pipe said, well, Justin Pipe was being very complimentary about John Henderson's finishing. And Pipe said, if I'd finished like that, my average would have been as high as 22. It was a patchy performance from Justin Pipe, but all about getting through the opening round here. Something he struggled to do last year on the European Tour, something we mentioned in commentary yesterday.
Yeah, well, if he does win this here against Ian White, it'll be the first time that he's made round 3, the last 16 of a Euro Tour, since the back end of 2016. This will be his 7th attempt since then of getting through to the last 16. Every time he's fallen in the first or the second round.
131.
And you could hear on his walk-on, and indeed on that first visit, although it seems to have died down, there is not a great deal of love for Justin Pipe in here, and I'm pretty sure that that is a hangover from the World Championship.
180.
What a love for that, though. The first 180 of the day, coming from the diamond.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Dan, but then again, it might just put a bit more fire in the belly of Justin Pipe here. Just before we get too involved in this match, though, I have to say, of course, the appetite for darts in this part of the world is no secret. A little over a month ago, we had a record-breaking crowd of 12,000 in Berlin for the first ever Premier League night in Germany. And the Ostermann Arena is absolutely packed out for day 2 here of the European Darts Open. Queuing round the block from about 10, maybe 9:45 this morning, when I popped out. Stretching back to the doors on the horizon there as far as the eye can see. Could get very hot, very sweaty, very noisy in here over the next 10 hours or so. Little wonder as well, given the calibre of the field here this weekend. Now, just another indication of where the crowd's loyalties lie here today, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Of course, if you're unaware, Justin Pipe ended up getting a significant fine of £3,000 at the World Championship when he was judged to have tried to distract his opponent, Bernie Smith, the World Championship, by coughing when he had match darts. Now, Justin, in the efforts of fairness, I should reflect that Justin has denied he made any noise, and I've not seen any evidence that he actually did. But...
And also, it wasn't reported by Paul Ince, the referee, either.
Or his opponent didn't hear anything, but, look, it was referred, it was dealt with. We don't know what was said in the referral meeting. But the only incontrovertible fact about it is that he was punished and got fined. And it is a fact that he's left himself 96 after 5 visits to the board and has a chance to hold his throw here against Ian White, a man who he doesn't have a very good record against, even though he did win their most recent meeting. 76, is it double-double? I think it may be. Oh no, well, I think double-double there was the sensible option.
80. In your class, 76.
For treble double instead, and White has the opportunity here. 76. Stays there. 18th.
58.
Never felt confident with
Justin
that visit. The
Maguire,
first dart was
16.
incredibly high. The second dart was a little bit low, worrying that treble 20 potentially busting it. I didn't feel confident the double 18 was going to find its mark. That looks pretty helpful.
Game shot on the first leg.
Kurt
Justin
Bevins
Park.
might have to
Second leg is Ian to
call
throw
order
first.
one or two occasions here today. Justin Pipe not being distracted on that occasion. Just a reminder of what Justin Pipe did yesterday. He beat Michael
Hang on.
Rastovitz by 6 legs to 2, but he hit 6 from 26 doubles and averaged 82.84. But no problem there.
Yeah, not a particularly impressive display from Justin Pipe, but the fact is he won 6-2, and he's played better than that and lost on the Euro
81.
Tour on a number of occasions over the last few months, so I don't think he'll be that bothered about it, as long as he can improve today. But Ian White is obviously in some form. Not only did he win the most recent Players' Championship event, and he beat Keegan Brown, James Wade, John Henderson, Mervyn King, and then Dave Chisner in the
60.
final. But he's had 2 semi-finals, a quarter-final, and his 5th career 9-darter already this year. It's been pretty good from the Diamond.
And the other thing about that as well, it had been a long time since his previous title. I think it was something like 19 months.
100.
I think it was just beginning to become a bit of an issue for him. And
Well, he made a couple of finals last year, but didn't win either of them. However, 2017 was the first year in 5 that Ian White didn't pick up a PDC ranking title. The year before, he'd won 3.
yeah.
But he's still right up there in the top 16 in the world. He's obviously the number 12 seed here.
45.
He is a very consistent performer, particularly on the floor events. It's always been the big stage where he's never really been able to have that enormous run. He has had a run at a Euro Tour
100.
before. Well, plenty of runs on the Euro Tour. But he's still looking for that first Euro Tour win, and you just feel it could be a stepping stone for him to then go and do it in one of the big televised tournaments. Justin Pipe is having no luck on treble 20s. He comes down the board and has even less luck on the treble 19s.
And he looks to the heavens for some form of inspiration. I don't think there'll be any forthcoming from upstairs. But he has been very consistent so far this year. He's also made 2 semi-finals and a quarter-final as well. His run to the first of those semi-finals at the second UK Open qualifier saw him conjure up a 9-darter in the deciding leg of a 6-5 win over Daryl Gurney. Great time to pull off a 9-darter when you're level at 5 apiece.
Perfect time to do it.
140.
Much better
Senior
from Justin
Guam,
Pipe, but
160.
pretty dreadful start to the leg means that Ian White has got half a dozen darts to see this off. He's very, very high with his first dart. On a few occasions going for that treble 20.
Winner of this to face either Daryl Gurney or Ron the Bomb Moulenkamp in round 3 tomorrow. This match is in the second quarter of the draw, which also features Rob Cross as well. As Pipe just applies a little bit of pressure on this double 10 for Ian White. Just nudging the wire with his first go. Nudging the wire on the other side with his second double 5, and he comes inside
15.
and Justin Pipe has the chance to steal this one for a 2-0 lead.
Perfect setup shot from Justin Pipe. The force applying some pressure, and it overcomes the diamond. Who would have thought?
The leg is
2-0.
Justin to throw
That
first.
chat with John Henderson about doubles
Game on.
yesterday afternoon must have been a very productive conversation. Ian White didn't have too much joy here. In fact, he didn't have any joy here last year. He was beaten in the second round. His first match as a seeded player here last year by Mervyn King, who went on to reach the final here 12 months ago. Or I say 12 months ago. It was actually not quite 12 months ago because we didn't play at this time of year. Peter Wright, the defending champion, in action later. Michael Van Gogh in the world champion, the world number 1 and the world champion Rob Cross here tonight as well.
Yeah, it is a bit of a curious one with the European Tour, because people might remember a particular venue. That doesn't mean that necessarily it's the same tournament that's being played there. People might remember the tournament at a certain time of the year, but it might be a different venue, a different
97.
tournament name. But this particular tournament, the European Darts Open, this was one that used to be held in Dusseldorf at the Maritime Hotel, a former European Championship venue. seen some incredible events played out in the history of the European Darts Open. Robert Thornton winning one, Peter Wright winning his first Euro Tour.
Just to be clear as well, players are protecting prize money from this time last year.
The calendar, yeah. They
so
always do it on the
time, for example.
Yeah, they always do it on the calendar.
134.
Their ranking money will come off on the corresponding weekend.
So Peter Wright, who had a terrific start to the European Tour last year, he'll be protecting a lot of money
83.
over the next few weeks or so.
Yeah, that'll be in the 1 year ranking system. The Pro Tour Order of Merit, which is of course what decides the seedings for this.
Ian White just inside the top 10 in the Pro Tour Order of Merit right now as well. Was 12th when the cut-off point was brought into play just before the qualifier, which took place at the start of February.
128.
Oh, Justin Pipe, only 2 wins in 9 meetings with Ian White, but right now he's going to come back to the board
140.
looking for a 3-0 lead, and we could see the first seeded player in action go out in the very first game of the day. Double 8, hit this in the first leg. And hits it in the third as well. 3-0 to the fourth.
Ian to throw first. Game on. $79.
Fancy new dart shirt for Justin. I've not seen that one before.
Further endearing himself to the German crowd by wearing
57.
the brilliant orange of the Dutch.
Yeah, they're good friends, the Dutch.
He's left his bicycle right outside as well.
96.
How to win friends and influence people, Dan. I've got a new toy to play with today here in the commentary box, by the way. A new database, which reliably informs me that Ian White is one of a cluster of players to have played over 100 matches on the European Tour since its inception in its current format in 2012.
Yeah, well, of course, the Euro Tour, I mean, it did have like a little group of about half a dozen players
66.
who played in every single one of them. Has been whittled down to just the 2 ever presence on the Euro Tour. Kim Huybrechts, so we see this afternoon taking on Chris Dobey in a tasty looking game that is this afternoon. And of course Peter Wright against Luke Woodhouse, a fascinating clash, bearing in mind that Peter Wright is in probably the worst
93.
spell of form I have seen from the world number 2 since he made the final of the World Championship.
And it's interesting as well, looking at the betting market for that as well. Woodhouse is 12-5 now. Not in a million years would it have been that price had they played this time last year.
Oh, yeah, quite.
Or even 6 months ago, maybe even 3 months ago. Peter Wright is out of sorts at the moment, to say the least.
Still the world number 2,
92.
still the number 2 seed here, Peter Wright. And look, we know his quality could well turn up and turn it on.
And he loves playing in Germany as well, let's face it.
And he's still only one of 4 people this year to beat Michael van Gerwen.
83.
Did it in the Premier League.
106.
Should have beaten Gary Anderson in the Premier League as well, only came out with a draw.
Yeah, and Ian White was one of the few people to beat Van Gerwen on the European Tour last year as well.
Oh, hang about, look at this. That looks perfect for Justin Pipe. Another one in there. Oh, he didn't give it enough. Would have left him a shot at double top for a 4-0 lead and a double break of throw.
140.
But he still sets it up very nicely, and Ian White needs 2 trebles just to get a dart to try and save this leg.
He's got 1. And he's got 2. And he's now looking at double 8s.
128.
To lie down, and that was covering a significant portion of that double 5. He just shifted slightly over to the right-hand side. 4-0, Justin Pipe. He won his first meeting with Ian White way back in the day, in 2012.
123.
Misses out the second 180. He won the most recent one in a qualifier for the World Series of Darts finals. That was in October, the back end of last year, but the 7 meetings in between all went the way of the Diamond.
108!
He fires in his second maximum. Well, I have to say, bearing in mind their head-to-head records, bearing in mind Justin's woes on the European Tour for a number of months now, and bearing in mind that Ian White came into this having won
60.
yet another PDC ranking title just on Sunday last weekend, I did not see 0-4 as a scoreline in this one.
No, certainly not. Just the one win on the European Tour last year for Justin Pipe. It was against Krzysztof Ratajski of all people as well. At a time when he was playing really well. Well, he played well pretty much throughout the whole European Tour campaign, but in particular at that midway point of the season. Just losing his way slightly here, though, is Justin Pipe. He's well aware that he can't afford to give White any encouragement whatsoever.
Now then, a little sniff of a chance. A frustrating one for him. Well, the thing is, Justin, a score of 65 would have got him to a finish. So I thought he might have been looking at the bull's second dart.
40.
As it is, he's gambled, knowing that he needs to hit a treble to get down to a finish, and he's not giving himself a chance. And Ian White knows he's got 2 visits here to get the break back, or one of the breaks back.
96.
So 98 the deficit. White's with a golden opportunity here for a break, unless Justin Pipe can apply some pressure. 80 away.
It's not in. For a moment there, he thought he'd done that thing where he's made a mess, should have left the finish and didn't, and had he done so, he would have been getting a dart for the leg.
99. In Uruguay, 97.
Well, this is very much nip and tuck now.
Double 12 it is.
85. Just in Uruguay, 96.
You get the feeling this would be a significant nail in the coffin of the Diamond if it goes. He went treble 12 last time. Does he go treble 12? Is he looking over the right? Is he going double-double this time? Well, it was a change of route, but ultimately the same result.
56. In Uruguay, 12. It's on the fifth leg.
Well, he'll be
Ian White.
feeling slightly better about
Six
life
legged
right now,
Ian
but
through first. Game on.
yeah, trying to get the crowd back on side here. They just seem to have lost their voice over the last couple of legs or so. Ian White almost imploring them there to get back on side. It is a break. And we've seen time and time again in this best of 11 format, matches just completely shift the other way when players seem to be in control.
Moving along this 60 bed.
140.
He's going to line them all up there, Justin, but ton 40 and already he's asking the question of the Diamond.
100.
Gerwyn Price in action after this one against Richard North. North a 6-0 winner yesterday. Gerwyn Price cannot get a win in his debut Premier League season. Confidence looks rock bottom at the moment. Kyle Anderson and John Henderson
55.
looks a belter this afternoon. Dave Chisnell in some really good form against Marco Kanteler, the Nordic and Baltic qualifier, who always seem to turn up here on the Euro Tour and cause problems for the established names. Alan Norris, a former Euro Tour winner, against the machine gun Jermaine Wattermainer. That Hybrex-Dobie clash, which looks a Brahma. Joe Cullen and Danny Noppert, and then it's rounded off this afternoon by Mervyn King and the very dangerous German Gabriel Clemens.
Yeah, I like the look of Clemens yesterday. Seems to be thriving, having secured his tour card earlier this year. He's had a really good start to 2018.
134.
Picked up over £8 grand in prize money, and it seems to have settled him down nicely. Big test though for him against the man who reached the final here last year.
60.
That is not enough, Ian. And a ton 40 from Justin Pipe would be perfect here. That's not a perfect dart for him.
Yeah.
100. In Uruguay, 142.
Well, it could have been better, but under the circumstances, it was a good recovery with that final dart, and White still has plenty to think about here.
90. Justin Uruguay, 72.
Well, Ian White fought hard to get a first leg on the board and break Justin Pipe in the previous leg, but Pipe may stay there to lead double 16 to break straight back for 5-1. And
Yeah,
push
he's on the
Ian
sick
White
leg.
to the
Justin
brink.
Pipe.
15 darter, and the
7-legged
force
Justin to throw
is looking
first.
good for a spot in the third
Game on.
round of a European Tour event for the first time since the back end of 2016.
5 from 9 today for Justin Pipe, 6 from 26 yesterday. He's clearly raised his game with his finishing. The average is far from spectacular,
100.
but it's a very emphatic scoreline, there's no doubt about it. And he's conjuring up big scores when he needs to. And Ian White can't get a look in here by and large. He had that one break, but it was totally eradicated straight away.
81.
And Pipe throwing first here, and with a slight advantage already as he looks to wrap up a 6-1 win.
Yeah, well, Ian had a dart to win the first leg. He had a dart to win the fourth leg, but that was at the end of a big 136 combination. Finally got over the line in the fifth leg.
100.
But he's just not been playing at the level that we've seen of him so far this year. When he won on Sunday, carving through the field to win
96.
yet another ranking title, he was averaging 99 pretty much every single game he played. It barely deviated from that. 98, 99, 99 and a half. And the force has fired at his second 180, and the end may be coming swiftly for the number 12 seed.
Well, he's got his arms outstretched here as he approaches the finish line, hasn't he,
83.
Justin Pipe?
Justin Uruguay, 121.
Very, very different performance to the one we saw yesterday.
Lovely stuff. Treble 15, I would think. Oh, is he going bullseye? What's the route? It was treble 15. It wasn't treble 2 he wanted.
55 away. So maybe a single 15 there.
81.
Ian White racing to the oche there. I think he knows that this game is up, because that gets him to a finish. But
Justin Uruguay,
Justin
40.
Pipe wants tops for a 6-1 win, a comprehensive victory against the number 12 seed, a rare victory against the number 12 seed, and of late, a rare win in the second round of a European Tour event. The
Game
force,
shot.
too
And the
much
match,
for the diamond in the
Justin
opening
Pipe.
game of the day at the European Darts Open. Ian White dumped out 6-1, and Justin Pipe will take on either the bomb, Ron Meulenkamp, or Super Chin, Daryl Gurney. One game down, 7 more to come this afternoon, and we continue with the Welsh number 1 Gerwyn Price, the number 13 seed, looking to avoid the same fate Ian White has just suffered as he takes on Richard North, a whitewash winner yesterday when Northie saw off Martin Atkins brackets Wigan.